So, good evening, everybody. This is a very emotional moment for me, for my family, and for the Stockton team around the world, and for the so many people in this industry that loved my father very much, over 46 years in the industry. So I am going to take a few minutes to tell you about him. By the way, he was such a humble individual that there is no way he would approve this submission. So I took advantage of the fact that I could. He was born in Kazakhstan in 1940 to Jewish refugees who fled the Nazi invasion of Poland. His father and brother died, his mother remarried, and he received an abusive and violent stepfather with whom he lived in refugee camps until after the war. He then arrived to Israel and left home to grow up in a kibbutz, where he connected to the land and to agriculture, and that was for life. He went on to work for 46 years in this industry, 22 of them at Makhteshim, today's Adama, 20 of them as commercial manager for Latin America, literally the first one, where he alone in the 70s laid the foundation for the company's later substantial growth in the region, all of it. At his funeral 7 months ago, 25 years after he had left Makhteshim, spoke Ilan Levite, CEO of Makhteshim at the time. And Ilan said, "We used to call him Peter the Great, King of Brazil in Latin America. While increasing sales annually in the region, he pushed the vision of creating a substantial Makhteshim presence in the region through acquisitions long before we actually did it. And when we did it, it was one-to-one his vision. He was a true visionary and always full of passion," said Ilan. In 1994, he left Makhteshim and formed Stockton, which began as a one-man agrochemical trading business, but evolved through our mutual work after I joined him into a global organization with activities in over 30 countries, but most importantly, into a full-blown R&D company focused on the development of biopesticides. It was quite a shift moving backwards on the value chain from trading to innovation. It took us years. It burned a lot of money, and it's never quite over yet. But our first commercial biopesticide, Tirosh Gold, became my father's huge passion, and he was its most avid advocate almost until his very last day. For those of you who do not know Tirosh Gold, it won the Agrow Awards for Best Biopesticide 3 years ago. It is a biofungicide sold today successfully for millions of dollars in over 20 countries around the world, in many conventional crops such as coffee, rice, tomato, bananas, and many other fruits and vegetables. Bringing Tirosh Gold all the way from the laboratory to the farmer has been a huge challenge. In an industry that is primarily generic today and that for many years housed negative perspectives on biopesticides, the challenge for us was double. To overcome negativity with hard science and a real value proposition, and afterwards, to explore with distribution and with local farmers how to create most value with TG in the program. Just as an example, we work with Syngenta in 3 of our markets. And in some crops, we have, together with Syngenta, replaced 25% of their spraying program with Tirosh Gold, creating a win-win for all stakeholders. Other than Tirosh Gold, of course, our biopesticides R&D center in Israel is working on a pipeline of new solutions. In 2013, Bayer, Syngenta, and BASF acquired companies in the biopesticide space and signaled that biopesticides are going mainstream. For us, that had meant that our bet on biopesticides was right, but that we must now raise capital to remain relevant. My father lived to see the business that we had built together obtain a substantial infusion of capital when Hebang of China acquired 51% of our company for $90 million a year ago, providing us with the growth capital to take the company to the next level. We agreed with our new partners that we would now grow the company both organically and inorganically strengthening Stockton as a biopesticides leader and preparing it for a NASDAQ IPO in 3 to 4 years. We're on it. But sadly, a few short weeks after the investment, he was diagnosed with a very violent cancer and he passed away in February. He was a relentless entrepreneur, a visionary, full of passion, and he certainly had more energy than the Energizer Bunny himself. But first and foremost, my father was a people's person, at eye level with all, caring for all, with a deep sense of respect for any individual he encountered on his path. He remained in the hearts of all who met him, and indeed, when word was out that he is on his deathbed in the hospital, industry friends from all over the world got on planes and came to visit him in the hospital. Just to pick one example that some of you may know, in 1974, my father, looking for distributors for Makhteshim in Brazil, opened the local Yellow Pages and called a young distribution company in the state of Paraná called Herbitechnica. On that day, a special relationship began with an individual named Osvaldo Pitol, that some of you may know. This relationship eventually led to the acquisition of Herbitechnica and Defensa and the formation of Millennia under Makhteshim-Agan in Brazil, part of his vision. That very deep friendship with Osvaldo Pitol lasted for 42 years, and he, like others, got on a plane as soon as he heard from Brazil to Israel to visit him in the hospital. And there were more from China, from the US, from all over. I believe my father's legacy is one of vision, entrepreneurship, passion, hard work, with a big heart. I'll do my best to follow it, and we will do our best for Stockton to continue growing with this legacy. I want to thank Agrow, Sanjeev, and the panelists. It's a very, very, very big honor for us, for the family, and for Stockton, and for me. Thank you all very much.